Hey, good morning, everybody, or I should say good evening. Oh, my goodness, I get my days and nights mixed up. It's just not really good right now. Welcome to A Focus on Business. Today we have got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier, you know, if you go and you start filling stuff out, there's what's the little button? Next Step.
Yeah. It's one of our on one of our back end sites, not on the Next Step Image side, but yeah, one of the buttons, the Next Step. And we've always seen it like that. Like in every business, there's always a next step. I mean, if you're really up to something, you're never standing still. It's like, what's next?
Right. Exactly. So we're going to start off. I'm going to start off with Jamie telling you. What got you into? Because everybody's got a why. Mm-hmm. What got you into this business?
Well, what got me into the printing business was really, I mean, understanding the need to have quality stuff. One of my first sales jobs years ago was selling autographed sports memorabilia. You know, so I've always been involved in fun sales. Things that are really fun to sell. And there was an occasion where the owners of that company, they bought a luxury box to one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers games, and they paid $5,000 for it. It was, at the time, the Bucs were doing really well back in 2000.
Okay.
So they had 16 seats to give out. They gave them out to potential investors, and so they brought the investors in. They spent probably a couple grand on food, I'm guessing at that number, but so about $7 grand they spent on this evening. The day of the show, they say, "Wait a minute, we don't have business cards." So they did what people would do in the last minute. They ran to Office Depot and they grabbed some pleated card stock. And back then it was really pleated. Mm-hmm. It was, they have some break apart now, so better, but flimsy, black and white. They ran them off. Wasn't a big deal to them. So fast forward, they get to the game, and one of I believe it was a VP of the company, was having a conversation with let's just say a 7-figure guy.
Right.
And he saw the vision. He said, what you guys are doing, mixing the athlete with a high-end art piece and, with the signatures and all, that, he saw the vision. And he had the wheels turning. He was getting enrolled in what they were doing. And he says, we need to talk. So Jim, one of the guys I'm talking about, he hands the guy his business card. And the guy took the card and he rubbed the edge like this. And he said, he looked around the room, the box. He said, "You spent all your money on the box, didn't you?" So in other words, because of what could have been a 2-cent problem, the business card, just having some better planning and having the right piece of material, all the smoke and mirrors went away. So, $5,000 to $9,000 in smoke and mirrors gone because they didn't have the right card.
Right. I've seen it. You get these guys that are out there and you meet with them, and I've always said, if you don't have a card, a real card, people will never take you serious. And then you get these guys that, and man, I mean, their spiel's good. Yeah. And you're like, yeah. And then they give you this card and then you go, and it's a habit. The first thing I do when I grab a card is I look at it and then I go like this, and I want to feel because that's, or they get one, then you'll go like this and it'll bend in half like the wind will blow and you're like, whoa, what's going on? So you're right. They spent more money on their.
Yeah, the damage is that nothing happens when it's not a great card. But when it is a good unconventional card, something awesome happens. They keep it and they remember you. It even reflects on the conversation a lot of times. Like, I remember the guy that had this card.
Right.
That's the la la la.
Yeah, we back when we were a different company called Bayou Productions back in years ago, I had a young kid that worked for me. And he somehow, some way came in one day and he goes, "I got cards for you." I said, "Dude, I got cards." And what did I do? I always just ran down to Jiffy Print and blah, 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 right? Which we're not here to talk about them. But he came in, he goes, "I want you to hold these cards." He goes, "I got these for you." I'm like, okay. So I pulled the card out and it was a velvet touch feel card. And I'd never seen one, and I dealt with a lot of people. And I started handing that card out and people were like, "Dude, where this is?" I mean, I would walk into clients that I had been with for a while, and my card was sitting over, visible. I'm like, I made enough of an impression with a business card, so it's out all the time. People see it, so that means that they're constantly, and those are the people that called me the most.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier. One of the networks I belong to, I had met an attorney, and he saw somebody else's business card, and he said, "I want some cards like this." He says, he says, "How many should I order?" I said, "Well, the best price is at $1,000 on that particular card." He says, "Well, I ordered 1,000 last time. I had them for about 3 years." I said, "You won't have these for 3 years." And he says, "Why?" I says, well, because you're going to be more excited about them, so that they're going to get distributed. You're going to be excited to pass them out, and people are going to be excited to get them. 3 months later, he was reordering 1,000.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Okay, so you got into this industry because you liked the industry, you saw potential in the industry, or you really liked helping the people take their business to another level in this industry?
At first, it was seeing the need, like seeing the opportunity to really bring a standard to something that wasn't really there.
Right.
And it wasn't like the printing companies didn't have that standard. Like you told me a little bit about your background in the printing world with the comics and things. There was always a high standard on the back end of the printing industry, but to get that standard over to the eye of the beholder, if you will, like who is the end user, and having them really get that, it matters what I'm passing out, the quality of it, because what I say, no matter how dynamic or exciting I can be in person, what I leave behind is the message. And that's just the reality of it. What's on our flyer is going to be what they remember about us.
Okay, tell me about, let's talk about business cards.
Okay.
What makes a good business card?
What makes a good business card is, it depends on a lot of the industry. So it depends on who it's being handed to and who's handing it out.
Right.
So I say I, but me and my wife both run the company.
Yeah, you didn't let the pretty lady sit over here. It's just you.
Well,
That's all right.
She opted out.
We'll have her doing her own show. How to deal with Jamie.
That'd be a long one.
Oh yeah, well
you don't have that kind of time. No, but your question on the business cards, what makes a good one is really being able to listen and ask questions to the client, like who are you handing these to, and why, or what are they up to?
Right.
So that's far more important than what we're up to. We already know that. So in some cases you have here's a realtor, to where this realtor, this is a very thick card that we did for him, and what he wanted, it was much more important for him to have an impact on who he hands this to.
Now that has a painted edge.
Yeah, take a look.
So I'm gonna have Rob come in on this one right here real quick, because I've never seen a painted edge.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe it got stained or something got messed up, or
well, what they wanted to do there
was
they made a thicker card, and then what else can we do to it? What else can we make happen that'll make it really cool? So that's actually a metallic gold painted edge, and they come in a clear card, a clear box, excuse me. The card box that they come in is clear.
And that's super clean. Mm-hmm. That is super, super clean.
Now here's a different realtor. He wanted to make a lasting impact. He does a magnetic business card. So that one can hang out.
Okay. Now I've always been told you don't put this stuff on your computers. But you can put it on your fridge.
I don't know about that, but yeah, on the fridge. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Huh.
I'd take the advice though if we're not sure.
Computer guys, don't put your magnetics on there. But that's a nice card, and you know what? You can actually just hand. Oh, I know Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ben's card. Of course.
Ben.
Ben's always going to go for the big stuff. That's it.
Here's a friend of mine. He helps people get their pilot's license. He actually
look. Okay, I'm going to show this back to you. That's got foil on it.
That's a full color foil. So that foil will actually carry gradients. We can isolate it. We can do a spot UV over it, different things like that. Just cool. Just really cool.
That is kind of cool.
Like if I put a wheel of a car on there, I can foil the wheel of the car, and you would still see the detail of that wheel.
Right.
It wouldn't just be a silver circle.
Right.
Now here's a really cool one. This is the suede, like you were talking about, the suede feel.
Oh, this has got that feel.
Now that's a Cadillac card. That card right there has a raised holographic foil.
Now wait till I spin the back. Ready? Check that out.
Yeah.
But I love the touch. See, the touch to me is everything. That card would be like, I'm not putting that in my wall. I'll put that in my front pocket, and I'll keep a hold of that. And you can feel, not only you feel the raise, but it's actually a velvet touch.
Yeah.
So cool.
A lot of the clients we get were referred because they were impacted by another person's card that they touched. Like from the moment they touched it, they're like, whoa, it's
definitely different. So
totally.
Now, okay, rounded edges. I see a card there that's got rounded edges. That's
another way to make it different. Here's one that has 4 rounded corners.
But does it sit weird does that sit weird in your pocket?
No, not at all.
I'll put that up there. There you
go. Not at all. It fits because it's still the same dimensions as a regular card.
And that's got foil on it too.
No, actually, that's funny you say that. That's just a spot UV.
That is just a spot UV?
Over a CMYK image. So that's a bitmap image.
Oh, that's cool.
That I did a spot UV on that makes it look like foil, but he didn't have the expensive foil.
That's cool. Now, do you have any example back cards? No, he's smart.
Well, funny you asked that. That's going to take me into another area of the company. Say a little bit about the company itself.
Then we'll just hold off on that then.
I wanted to get into the free graphic design. That's where I can show you that.
a whole. See that to me, that's a whole segment to itself.
Right.
Because I don't know anybody that offers free graphic design. Everybody charges.
If
even
you
if
Google
it's just
it, the closest you'll get is they have a free design software attached to their website, which we also have. We just don't recommend you use it because we'll design it for free. So you can use it if you're an introvert at that level.
We Beam TV needs a new card design. Anyway, so okay, so let's hold off on the second. So so when you get the cards, do you have to get a lot of them? Can you get like short runs like 500 or 1,000?
We go as low as 25 business cards on some options. Not all options have that. There are some minimals here and there, but on our standard business cards, they start at 25 is on the low. And with any paid printing order on our website right now, you get free graphic design provided by a designer. Me. So I'm going to design your stuff, and that's with whether it's every door direct mail. We do things like that. Banners are only $3 a foot, and that's with the free graphic design included. So pretty much you place your printing order. There's a button right there that says I either need my art files adjusted, I have print ready art, or I need a complete design, and it's totally free.
And this is now. So if I order cards. We got 10 seconds to go, and then we'll be right back. So if I order them, you drop ship them to me, or do I got to pick them up?
Direct to you. Yeah,
I love that. All
direct to you.
Go get some coffee. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody, we're back. I hope you got yourself some coffee or beer. I don't care. I don't judge, tequila, whatever you want. So we're back here with Jamie and, Next Step Image. And so tell us about Next Step Image, who you guys are. Who are you and your wife?
Well, Next Step Image it's a family-owned and family-ran business. And how we're able to do what we do, like if somebody was to take a look at the website, it could look overwhelming. Like it would seem impossible that a husband and wife team could do that. And then we also have on board as my daughter. She's the CEO, or excuse me, the CFO.
Okay.
She literally does all the QuickBooks, all the bean counting, if you will. To let you know a little bit of her qualifications, she's a college student right now at USF, studying to be an OBGYN, but she won the Pride Award in math in the 8th grade. She's been helping me with my books since she was 10 years old. Not doing it all, but she's like, if I don't know how to make QuickBooks do something, she's an automated kid. She can figure almost anything out.
Got it.
She's 20 now, engaged to be married, and she handles all the books. She can do it remotely from wherever she's at.
So she didn't have to be in office or in the studio or in the house or wherever.
Right. So she is literally the glue that holds the business together as far as that end goes. And then Shannon and I handle everything else. So my wife, Shannon, over here. Shannon, come on, introduce yourself.
See, there is a prettier side. We keep telling you guys that. You don't believe me.
It's my beautiful wife. And pretty much we do everything, but we do have our responsibilities. Like I'm responsible for making sure all the design gets done.
Right.
And she's also responsible for making sure it gets done by making sure I do it. And then,
Got it.
So we hold each other accountable for what our responsibilities are, which is, end of the day, get it all done.
Right.
And what do we provide? I mean, we said full color printing, but like what? That's a big world.
It is. It's a huge world.
Right. So if it's not on the site, typically we don't do it. With few exceptions, we can do custom quoting.
I know. We've got your website going up behind us now.
Okay, great. Yeah, that'll show you some of the things. But to put it on the court a little bit, here's some of those things. So you'd ask about business cards earlier.
Right.
Okay, and the free graphic design. So first off, we showed some of the cards, but here's some of the other things. So here's like a sticker. That's like a full foil sticker we can do.
They can do stickers.
Trifold brochures.
Oh, let me find it. There it is. There you go. Ooh, that's kind of cool, man. That's foil?
That's a full color foil sticker.
That is so cool.
Here's a couple different flyer options. You'll recognize
hey,
Grant.
Yes, I do.
I recognize Grant there.
He's been on the MPI show. So the ones that, see, I call these slicks. I'm not sure what that's really called.
Flyers, brochures,
and then there's
slicks.
Three, so this is a 3. It's got weight to it.
Yeah,
See,
it's a 100-pound gloss text.
I like weight. I guess maybe it's just me, but I like it when I put some in my hand. It doesn't look like it's tissue paper.
Well, there's our door hanger. Very durable, UV coated. Now that was free. That was designed for free for him, and we even did the photo shoot of the van.
Oh, really?
What he provided us with was the proof from the wrap, and it just wasn't the quality that we wanted to use.
Right.
So we needed an actual photo. So we went on site and did that photo for him of the van.
It's got some oomph to it. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, and all this is on the website.
All this on the website.
I don't
door
have to go
hangers.
searching, digging, and oh my God, I can't find anything because there's so much stuff on the website.
Yes. There
nice.
is a lot of stuff on the website, so that's why we're available.
It's navigatable.
All day long. Well, you can call us. We love.
Oh, really?
People,
You mean you answer a phone? I'm not going to get into you?
We answer the phone, and if we're not available to answer it, you're going to call back that business day or the very next business day. So within 24 hours, you're definitely going to get a call back. Right now, if you're on the site, though, it's probably going to be immediately because it's a new site for us, and we're really anxious to help people out with it. And to walk them to make sure they get what they want to order, because there are a lot of options.
Right.
A lot of different stock options, a lot of different coating options, and like we're going through the cut corners.
Right.
And so to make sure they get what they're after, we want to help them walk through it. But if you are somebody that wants to do it all on your own, we even have the design software on there. Somebody can click on there, design their own card, order it, and have it shipped to them and never even talk to us.
Wow.
Yeah. We're going to call them.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But if they say they don't want to talk to us, then we'll let them be.
Because they think they're smart.
Yeah, well, they can be smart.
I think I'm smart, and then I get halfway through it going, I am not smart. And then, but see, the problem with those types of sites is you can't ever get to anybody, or you got to chat with somebody, or you got to leave an email, and then they get back to you 2 days later. Well, you're like, I kind of needed to order these yesterday.
Well,
Sorry.
we also have fully integrated in our site is the Every Door Direct Mail, or most people call it EDDM. So realtors doing just sold postcards, or a service company, telling an area that they're working in their area. For whatever reason you want to do some saturation mail
Right.
in an area, we're fully integrated with the post office. So you can go on a map, choose your routing areas, see the information. There's demographic information
Right.
available, ages, incomes, things like that. And then they can also, if they choose to, they can design it there themselves or let us design it, which we recommend fully, because that's what we do. And then they can hit the trigger right there. And within probably about 2 weeks, they pick the drop date and the mailers go out.
Okay. All right. Now I see. Okay. So this is going to be stupid, but I'm going to ask this anyway. So I need letterhead. I just
Okay.
need plain old letterhead. You guys do letterhead?
Absolutely.
See,
Letterhead, envelopes, you can do letterhead with a second blank sheet. You could do letterheads with blank envelopes you can do
Right.
letterheads that are folded. If you're going to do a letter on an envelope or on a letterhead, you don't want to print them all on your desktop because that
Right.
can get expensive.
Yeah.
We can even print the letter on the letterhead and have them folded, everything ready to go in an envelope.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay. So
How can we do that is our
I was getting ready to
relationship.
say-
Yeah, okay.
so you do your fulfillment, right? No. You guys do the design, and you have the
Right.
fulfillment people.
You were talking about the printing world, how it used to be in the past, where
Right.
it was like, guy running the counters, the guy running the press, and the guy doing the design.
Yeah.
That's all that guy, that his abilities. And those shops still exist, and I guess they have their market, but it's just not working out for the end user anymore. So
Right.
we have a relationship with a press that literally has presses all over the country. They do not deal with the end user, so they're not interrupted, let's say, by where's my status, what's going on, what are the details of the order that really doesn't help move things
Right.
along. They can concentrate on making sure everything's the quality the standard that we want to carry, and then we're freed up to fully service the customer.
So that gives you the ability to actually do the design.
Yes, I mean the ability to design comes a lot with how we operate as well, because most companies haven't figured out how to do that. The
No.
only ones we've seen out there is they offer free design like on one product for a limited time, and there's a barrier to entry.
Right.
That you have to qualify to get through their door. Ours is wide open. You can just go on the site. Anybody, you have to have an account to order.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have an account to see what we're offering. It's
Right.
it's available for anybody that wants to go on there.
So I have a new business, and I really don't have a. Okay, so let's take this from the start. Okay, I have a new business. I don't really have a logo.
Okay.
Do you help design the logo?
That's the only design where if it's not going on a printing item like right then,
Right.
a design for logo is separate, and we do that we either do a caricature logo where we actually draw a picture of
Right.
somebody, like trace
That's
them out,
smart.
whatever. Those we charge $500 for. For a typical logo, we charge $200.
There you go.
We literally go back and forth
But you
until
do
he says
that.
it. Absolutely.
See, a lot of times you go. I've dealt with printing companies in the past, and they're like, and I'm like, look, I got a brand new product. I want a new logo for it. Well, we don't do the logos. We just do the printing side of it. I said, you know anybody does? Well, we got a couple people.
Yeah.
See, you actually can handle it all,
I did one just yesterday.
which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And everybody should pay for their logo, because
Well-
they get rights to it, right?
Funny you say that.
See, funny
How do
I
you
say
how do
that.
you value a logo? So my clients get really an amazing deal because I'm the one that's doing it, and not to sound arrogant. And if it doesn't, it's okay. But what I mean by that is, what is the risk factor of that logo in your business? So look at your place. You have a lot of overhead here, right? You have expenses, and you have marketing. So I do a logo for you. It's going to go on business cards. It's going to go on brochures. It may go on a truck. It may go on a
Exactly.
building. It may go on a billboard. What if I get it wrong? Now, and I don't mean like make a mistake, but what if it's not the right logo for that company? What if the Target red dot didn't work,
Right.
and they got to redo that? How much does it cost them to redo that logo on all the different materials they bought? So in some cases, a logo, the risk value of it's millions of dollars. So you really want to deal with someone that is, going to understand the marketing side of things and not just be able to
Correct.
make something that looks cool.
Right.
So do they understand, is this going to work in their market? Can they listen for and reliably deliver, what's going to happen next with that logo?
See, that's what I'm saying. Right there.
Right.
It's you got to know. It's not like you were flipping burgers 3 weeks ago and said, I want to be a printer today.
Right.
You've got skills, and you've got time in this industry to know this is what you need. And that's a big deal, because a lot of times you get these people that will hire your sister's cousin's nephew who's really good with Photoshop or paint. Next thing you know, you have this logo that's.
We're actually very good at those relationships too. We had one last week where and it gets touchy, because when somebody creates something, they could be very well attached to that creation. So there's a conversation to be had, and you got to be trained for this one to be able to have that person realize that you can enhance what they've done without taking it away from them. And that's a real tedious line for a designer to walk. I love it. I love that line.
So you like that line?
Love it, because they're blown away, because it's still theirs. It's still got everything that they wanted about it, but it's flared up to like the wow. I mean, we'll go into that a little bit, but the wow
something
factor.
they want to put on the side of a truck or something.
It wows them.
I have a logo, and we've had Tampa Bay Multimedia. We're Bayou Productions. We carried the logo over to Tampa Bay Multimedia to the point where it's on my shoulder. And it was because when I first saw it, I'm like, that's exactly what I saw in my head. So, and my brother did it. So
a tattooed logo, you can't get a better compliment than that. My bookkeeper has the logo I did for her years ago. She severed from corporate America and then severed from a partnership that wasn't working. And so the logo meant a lot to her. It wasn't just a logo. This is like my life now. This is my tribe.
And that's exactly, I'll go into it later. All right, you know what? So we're coming down. We're going to come back and we're going to talk we're going to get deeper, right? In the, of more of the wow factor that this company can actually bring to you. So we'll be right back. Go get you some more coffee or wine or beer, whatever it is you're in, because it is 5 o'clock,
Brew it up.
And we'll see you guys shortly.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
right, everybody, we're back. And yeah, you know what we're going to talk about is the wow factor, because the wow factor is actually what makes people go, hey, I'm going to use that guy because, wow, he knows what he's doing. So tell me more about the wow factor.
The wow factor is like, it has a lot of different angles to it. Like, people get wowed by what we're able to do, like the amount of products that we're able to offer, you know, again, being a husband and wife team. And then the free graphic design. You know, we really go for the wow factor there. We're not going to let up until we get it. We want people to be very excited about what they've gotten, so that the word free doesn't become, you know, oh, well, you jacked your prices up, so it's free. No, or it's an inferior product, and people are blown away by that. Shannon likes to talk about John Marshall, the owner of MPI. We just redid his card, really, just to do it, and we, you know, put some more metallic in the logo. This just gave it a whole facelift, and he was blown away. I mean, he sent us a text video, and he's like, wow, oh my God, wow, wow, wow. He said wow like 3 times. Tony, we just did some folders for him, and we had that thing designed, printed, and in his hands in about 5 business days. He was wowed by the price. He was wowed by the process. He was wowed by the end result. I mean, that's a beautiful, very well-presented folder. So when we are working with somebody on a design, we listen. Like, that's where it all comes in. Who are they going to give it to?
Right.
Who's handing it out? And if they're going to delegate that to somebody in the company, we might want to even hear from them. Like, you know, what do they have about it? Is there any yeah, buts, what ifs? Or, you know, what are the problems that the client's dealing with? What's the content that's on it? You know, and they're wowed by that. They're wowed by what we know about color. You know, I know that if you don't set black up right, it's going to look charcoal versus looking jet black.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, and we have this conversations with people. You know, if they grab a hold of that knowledge, great, but we more say it so that they realize we know it and that they're in good hands, and there's no reason for them to know about it because we're going to do it for them.
Right.
And they own it. So with the free graphic design, they own what we create for them.
Well, I got to say, so we met Jamie 2 months ago, about 2 months ago. All right. So we were getting ready to do a home show.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, hey, yeah, you know, oh, and it dawned on me, oh, crap, I need to start handing stuff out. Because normally we go to home shows to work them. We don't go there to be a part of them. We're there to interview everybody, and that's kind of what we do. And my wife says, you know, we need to get some cards. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, I got a week and a half. We had a week and a half before a show. So Jamie came on. It was timing, everything hit just the right time. And I think I have maybe that much left. He made us these cards, these, I call them slicks, the one, you know, but they're cards. And we put those out, and people would just, and I didn't have to say anything. This is what's cool about it. I didn't have to go tell Jamie, this is what I want, this is how I need it, blah, 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 blah. He looked at the style. I do like black. Black is it's a color, it's a production thing. So he knew to go to black, and you did exactly what we needed. And when people saw it, they're like, oh, you're a TV station. Oh, and these are some of your shows. I didn't have to explain anything to them. And then, on top of that, Jamie has made us these beautiful posters. And actually, one got knocked off the wall over there the other day, so it's sitting there getting ready to be put back up. Oh. But we have one that's the other one. He made me 2, these beautiful movie posters that go on these movie frames. Now, one became our entryway poster on our door over in Tampa.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Because we had the it was I didn't have a way to, you can't see us from the road, but when people walked in, I wanted to know that they knew that's where We Being TV Studio was. So I put that up in the window, and everybody's calling me going, everybody in the building, dude, that looks great. Who did that for you? I'm like, next up image. And they're like, well, they did this poster. I said, no, they're heavy. They've got feel to them. And then when you put them up, they're like, they don't look like just like a poster. They've got that look, and they're, I get more compliments out of them. Yeah, it's a wow factor.
Yeah.
It is a wow factor.
And I'm sure anybody that's seeing this, you can see, he's wowed.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the wow.
We hung one of them up at the event, because I broke bulbs in the other one, so I couldn't hang it up. So and everybody walked by and went, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. I just kept telling next step image, next step image.
And again, I said, listen, form, reliable, deliver is what we do. So funny you mentioned that deal, because when we met and you started asking questions about my business, most of them were like, can you, I got a week and a half. You gave me the dilemma.
Right.
Can you meet it?
Yep.
And I told Shannon when we got home, I said, he's not sure I can do this. I'm sure that a lot of people in this business have told him, what they say, over-promised, under-delivered.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to blow this guy away.
Yeah, he over-delivered,
I
which
want the wow.
blew me away. Because he's right. I didn't think that we would have any of it in time, and it all showed up. As a matter of fact, it showed up earlier, and I'm like going, this is great. It gave me time to actually look at the product before I just handed something out there. I hate going to a show and not seeing a product, and then you put it and you went, oh, Lord, what did I do?
You shouldn't have to get hit by a car to learn to look both ways before you cross the street.
True.
And I've seen a lot of sales mistakes, where that over-promising. The first guy I worked for in sales used to say, just say yes, and then figure it out.
Just figure.
And that wasn't in the printing world, but it definitely wouldn't work in the printing world.
Nope.
But that was in the memorabilia world. But we just don't operate that way. We've learned from others' mistakes over the years. Shannon brings a lot to the table that as well. She used to be a wedding planner, so logistics. She's seen a lot of lives.
That's a nightmare industry.
It's just.
You said that I get just sweaty. I'm like, because we were in that for a little while, and it's like, no, not anymore. I can't do it. Yep, I don't have the patience for it.
It's a world where the over promising, under delivering just seems to be a way.
Yeah.
And for us, it's not. I mean, we definitely want to under promise and way over deliver. We like to hear things like we go way over and above. Just did a design package for a plumber, Guardian Plumbing. He was referred to us by somebody that does the promotional products only.
Right.
And he was the door hanger that I showed you. This is him.
Yeah, that is very cool. I tell you, I do like that.
He gave me a hug. Grown man.
He
gave me a half a hug. He says, I am so glad that I met you. And it was.
Well, actually, let's talk about some wow factors. And I want to give you some examples. I'm going to hold up two cards here. I'm going to hold the before and after. So, Rob, if you don't mind, there is the before.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know it's clean. To me, that's clean. And you could write Alex's name on the back. And I have a question about this here because the new one is that, and the back is that, right? So then you have, now we know this guy. He's been on he's been on the NPI. So this was his before, and that's his after.
So it's just a little more pop.
But you know what? It draws my eye to the card to look at it. And once again, you got a blank back, which I was always told is a good thing. But again, I got my questions, and you got more information on the new card, which is really cool. Then you got, now I know this guy. I know this young man. This is the before. I got a couple, Rob, and then I've got this, right?
That's a total facelift. Literally.
I mean, this looks beautiful. This makes me want to pick it up. This is like, I don't know what that is, but it loses me. And of course, on the back, you've got information versus a white card. Again,
And on the front of that one you just showed, if you look at the blues, if you look at the blue color in that,
yeah,
on the before, it looks more of it's off of what their actual blue was.
Right.
And there's a way to set that up as well to where it doesn't turn purple.
So here's another one there. It's a faux rounded edge. Or or you can get an actual rounded edge, which is nice. And again, information. Okay, and then I've got the last one here I'm going to show. And then I've got, we all know who these people are, right? We all knew Herbalife. But now you want to get to know Herbalife better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's where Sarah chose to go in.
So cool. That
self-brand.
Back is bad. I can curse on this. It's badass.
That's a
I'm
raised
just saying it
holographic
right
foil. It is.
That is so cool. You can look at. So, okay. Mike, I was always told it's not a bad thing to have a white back, and it can't be any gloss, so you can write down notes or phone numbers and whole nine yards.
Yep.
But you say there's
Well, they even say in networking that you want to have an area where somebody can write on your card so they can
Right.
jot down a note where they met you. But the new rule is carry a silver or gold Sharpie, not the paint ones, but a silver or gold Sharpie because they'll write over anything.
I do that for signing autographs.
So for the networking idea, I agree with that. Make a little footnote if you need to on the card.
Right.
I met them at whatever
Right.
deal. But do that with a black or silver Sharpie. But for the consumer, the person, the business that's using the card,
Right.
the logic of having the back blank, what they used to say was, well, if you have the back blank, somebody writes a note on it, now they're going to keep your card. I asked you the question. You said, yeah, I've done that before, wrote notes.
Yeah.
Did you ever turn that card over again?
Nope. Because I wrote a note on the back, and that's the note I needed.
Yeah, so you didn't need their card, and it has nothing to do with them.
And it wasn't even for them. It was for somebody else.
Right.
It
So
just happened to be something I could write on.
Right. So my card, what I want is like, here's mine. I want to make sure that who keeps my card is only keeping it because they may need my product or service.
Oh, it's got a raised back. I don't know if right, look, yeah, that is so cool. That is so cool. Oh, you want me to put it down? It is so cool. I love that. See, there you go.
It's hard to see on there, but yeah, it's a raised spot.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So, we got about a minute left. When we come back, we're going to talk about now. I've always heard about the Every Door Direct, the EDD.
Absolutely, yeah. Every door direct mail.
And I've always it's just been a nightmare. You got to go and you got to bundle them up and you got to take them all separated and you got to do all this. And by the time I thought about the workload on that, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I just I don't have time to sit there and bundle and count every single card to make it. But you make this easier.
Full service, totally integrated. Everything can be done from one spot.
That to me, that's good. So when we get back, we're going to talk about the Every Door Direct, and then we're going to let you know where you can get a hold of this young man and his beautiful wife to get your swag on. There you go. So you get your swag on. So we'll be right back after these messages.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
everybody, we're back. And you know what? As usual, I'm saying stuff wrong. It's not EDM, it's EDDM. It's every door direct mail.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, and some
Yeah,
people
he
are
was
probably
being
asking,
polite, going, dude, seriously, you can't even say it right. And it's right there. It's just right there on the sign. But anyway, that's why I do my shows, because it's my show. It is what it is. So, okay, so let's talk about what is every door direct
Yeah, I
mail?
was about to say, even with that, maybe some people don't even know what it is still. So every door direct mail is the post office a few years back, coming out of the recession, was really hurting on people not using business mail anymore.
Right.
It wasn't working anymore, la, la, la. Well, the internet has changed all of that about direct mail in general. In other words, because of the data that we now have from social media, is this, that, direct mail has gotten more targeted, so it works a lot better than it ever did. So with the every door direct mail, they wanted to find a way, how can we make it more inexpensive to the end user, to the person that wants to mail the business mail? So by basing it on routes that you're going to mail to, like this is the map we pulled up, that's some of the routes that will be available in this zip code. So what we have up there right now is a map of this area, punching in this zip code, and that's about a 1 mile radius. So if you wanted to mail a 1 mile radius around here, you can go up to 3 miles on our site, but you would start to click these orange areas, and when you click one, you would get demographic information there.
Oh, okay.
So how it was designed in the beginning was you would go to the post office and say, what size do I need to have? They'd tell you, and you'd say, okay, so let me go get my postcards.
Right.
You'd come up with how that's going to look, get them printed, however you do. And then you'd go to their website that would look similar to this, and
Right.
you'd make these same selections on the post office website, which is all that was available then.
Right.
And then you would have your things printed, and you had to have a sheet of paper with every bundle of 100
Yeah,
postcards.
dude. Because we did
It's
this.
something.
We did this back in years
When- yeah.
ago, and we did it for my wife's company. And I'm like, I sat there for 3 days folding and bundling and putting a piece of paper. And next thing you know, I've got a truck full of stuff that I had to take over to the post office. And I get over, and the post office goes, "No, you did that wrong." And then
Yeah.
start all over again. I'm like, oh, this is just crazy.
We've had clients say, my wife will do it. And I'd say, let me talk to her. And they, next thing you know, they're going full service.
Yeah,
Because she's
yeah.
like, no, his wife will not do it. So it's what the post office, a lot of people have the misconception when they hear like bulk mail. They think that, oh, the more I mail, the cheaper it's going to get. And that's true, but that doesn't discount it as much as how much work are you taking off of their plate.
Right.
So with EDDM, you're taking all the work off the post office. All they're essentially doing is literally the post office that services that zip code gets the mailer, and they hand them to the guy in the Jeep, and he puts them in every single door. There's no addressing. So that's why they say every door direct mail.
Got it.
So now, fast forward, now we have available to us this integrated function on our site where you could make your route selections, choose the right size, all those things you had to go to the post office for. Choose the right size, and then our added value is have it designed for free. We had one just last week. I'll show you a couple of these.
Yeah.
But last week we had one when I was going to tell you that they were on the site and they had it at the checkout with the taxes and everything included. And her question was, is this it? Are you sure this is it? And I said, yes. She goes, let me call you back. She took an hour to call me back, and she told me, she goes, I had to go check the other sites to make sure that, are you sure this is it? There's nothing else. I'm like, you're at the checkout. That's it. And you're going to put it together. Yes. What if we don't like it? We're going to go back and forth until you do. Okay, click. She's now wowed. 4,000 pieces went out, and she was just,
Wow.
She couldn't believe
Wow.
that it was that. Yeah, she couldn't believe it was that easy. Now, here's one I wanted to show you, because here's what can happen out there if you're not careful with every door direct mail.
Right.
This is a before piece.
The before.
Now, design-wise, it doesn't look bad, but if you look to the one edge where your hand isn't, that other edge, you'll see
Right
a
over here.
white edge.
Yeah.
Like there's a white line
Did
there.
it not
That's-
get cut correct?
Yes, and then if you, here's the one that we did. So if you look at the difference of the thickness of how one's flimsy and one's not, right? So what?
Oh, yeah, this
they
right
were
here.
told they were going to get something as thick as what we did, and then they got the flimsy postcard. Now spin them around. Now, whoever designed this, they took a targeted mail template, your right hand.
Right.
They took that and just took a regular template and made it into an EDM. So there's a lot of wasted space. And there's also
is.
images of the inside of the home, which wasn't that important to a house that's already sold.
Right.
So we made the backside completely about the agent.
That's awesome.
So it's just a better.
So much, yeah, and I love the fact that it's got weight to it. This, yeah, that wouldn't. Now, oversized versus undersized. So people they tell you to make the card bigger so it doesn't, so it sticks out when people go check their mail.
It's got a Trump, and whatever you feel about the word Trump, I mean like Trump card.
Right.
But when you what happens, like we had one agent that she said, your cards are Trump cards. I was like, well, what do you mean? She says, well, when I go on a listing appointment, so in real estate, you have the listing agent, they get people to sell their home versus selling the home. So they said, when we go on a listing appointment, typically if they called us from the postcard, they have 10 or 15 different postcards that they've shown us. Most of them would look like this. This was the template, postcard, type postcard.
Go.
So the agent I'm talking about, this was the postcard that she had when we met her. This is the before. So typically they would have 10 or 15 of those laid out, and then they would have one of hers like we've done, like this.
Much nicer.
And that actually costs less to mail out.
Really?
So they choose her because of the better sales presentation.
Oh, it's big.
And it just gets down to that simple. It actually matters the quality of what you're handing out or distributing.
That is monstrous. That is a huge difference.
Yeah, here's another one where this person was in a time jam. We were able to help them out with time, and that's the before. And the after you'll see is the same design. He didn't want anything done to the design, but it's a thicker postcard.
Oh, it's nice and heavy.
It was done faster, and it cost him less.
Here. Good, bad.
Totally wild.
Totally wild.
So that's a case where the design isn't what wowed him. It was the quality, the speed, and the price.
Yep. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Normally, I'll never announce what time, but I want to let people know how to get a hold of you.
I'm glad you said that. The simple way to get a hold of us is, of course, through the website.
Right.
So we have an online storefront.
And Rob's going to put that up behind us in front of us too, so that people can see it.
So the online storefront is a website. However, there's over 1 million different variations of products on the website, so it can be confusing for someone who's new to it, or even somebody who knows what they're ordering, getting to it. So we'd like you to call us. So the phone number to get a hold of us at is 727-831-2450. Or the one that's on the screen will work as well. That's our office line. I just gave you my direct line. We are available.
Wow, you're giving out your direct lines?
Absolutely.
See, that's typically not what you hear. You always want to. Everybody wants to hide behind that front desk.
Yeah, well, I thought I did, but they both go to the same place, so wasn't a good hiding trick.
There you go.
No, but we're
See
very
what I know.
available. We're very available to people to help them and navigate the site. So again, we want to help you walk right through it. And if you don't even want to fool with the site, let's have a conversation. We'll create an account for you. We'll even place your orders for you.
Okay.
We don't mind doing that.
So let's go to the list. Let me see if I can do this. You got business cards, postcards, brochures and flyers, letterhead, envelopes, greeting cards, booklets, presentation folders, door hangers, rack cards, every door direct mail, bulk mail, and swag.
Yeah, swag isn't on there because here's where our swag is different. One, the quality of it, like everything else. But these mugs, you can order one. You can order one of these. One? Yeah, and it's a full color wrap. It's not just like put my logo on one side or the other. It's a 4x9 wraparound.
Okay.
We have T-shirts. Shannon, show a couple of those.
So here comes the beautiful Miss Shannon.
So these shirts, you can actually plop your own picture in and print them on our website, or you can have us design a shirt for you. So here's one that we did for in-house use. It's our super step shirt.
Love that.
Now here's one on a more personal level. We have a black cat.
Okay.
And this is Jasper. So this is a black shirt. So what I did was I eliminated the black out of the cat.
Yeah.
Highlighted the face a little more.
Yeah.
And then, so the black in the cat is the shirt.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And design restrictions?
Good question. Most shirts have an 8.5 by 11 coverage. Most are available in both landscape and portrait. It doesn't have to cover the whole 8.5 by 11.
Now, is that direct print?
Yes.
Okay.
Direct to garment.
So direct to garment. So that's like a big printer for shirts.
Yep. And the large format, in addition to T-shirts and these types of gifts, we can also do tote bags. And again, very, very much higher quality than what you're used to seeing. Like they're cotton bags. Yeah. They're like a canvas material, and again, direct to garment. Tablecloths, table throws, large banners. The banners
that are behind you and me.
Yeah, those are
pull-ups. I love that little. These are cool, man.
Tabletop display here. This is great. I mean, obviously for like this this is what we call a counter card right here.
Right.
It basically just has like a paper easel on the back. This is great for like point of sale,
Right.
you know, like convenience stores, different
Yep.
things like that, doctor's offices. And then all the way up to a full scale banner here. And then our regular banners. Very proud of those. If you're a youth athletic organization, you need to get a hold of us right away.
Oh, so like the ones that hang around the football fields, and baseball fields, and soccer fields.
You know Jeff Callahan, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so Jeff is involved with the Safety Harbor Little League.
Right.
We did, I think, close to 20 banners for them this year, and they were the wow factor hit hard. It was like, who is this guy? But Jeff, where'd you find this guy?
Right,
Jeff
right.
said, man, you're making me look real good out here.
You make him look like a hero.
Yeah, I mean, and we love doing that.
Right.
Our banners are $3 a square foot. Is what they start at.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's actually, I hate that word. I hate that C word, but that's cheap.
It's inexpensive.
There you go. It's inexpensive. It ain't cheap.
When
It's
you're dealing
good.
with quality, you have inexpensive.
That's a great thing. So, okay, let's go over the website one more time. It is
www.nextstepimage.com.
And the phone numbers. I don't know where that came from.
There's the website. There's the phone number. And again, that's my direct line. There's the office line. Call either one. They go to the same place.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Jamie, thank you for coming on a Focus on Business. And
Thank you.
Actually, thanks for bailing me out, because you have bailed me out and have won my business forever and ever and ever. So with that being said, make sure you tune in next week. We got RRCA coming on. They are a roofing. They're actually from Fort Myers. And this dude is sharp when it comes to roofing. So we'll be
tune in.
back next week, and tune in, and so that you can see about your roof, because guess what? It's hurricane season. So we'll see everybody next week.